lot of distance left on the track. Godlike with a pretty decent split on this compound, Dukes. This is going to be a tough position to try and get across towards, especially with Vitality holding out on your east side. The south approach is currently stymied by all of these teams trying to leave from Chumacera. It makes that ground pretty difficult to move around, not to mention Nongshim Red Force taking that compound that overlooks the approach. So for now, Godlike are big. Chilling.
Big chilling right now. 7th place, 27 points. Being able to replicate even close to that kind of success. So they're still in 3rd place with 58. That's a great, great start, but teams are starting to catch up to them. Now 2 have already passed them. It's not. One more. It's not.
K9, K9. It settles out to the east. This is right on the crossroads. This is good for Godlike. This is good for Vitality. Just yet. It's the teams from Chumacera that I'm worried about. It's S2G, TT Project, E-Arena.
And it's going to be a tough one, that's for sure. Yeah, Mincer's the right word, because we're going to see some teams get shredded, trying to just find any kind of spot in this next circle. There is that little hillside that they're going to have to go to, but whoever takes that first is just going to get shot at from every single direction. Now we're going to look at Godlike, trying to find some cheeky little shots. QZZ from Tianba, very happy to just share this real estate right now. They're dead center of the zone. They're saying, hey, Godlike, y'all are good. Look over there. We'll look over here, okay? And then once we get to the end game, we'll battle.
Absolutely. Happy to play in the shadow.
We're total full squad, by the way.
Yeah. Happy to play in the shadow of the bigger tree that is Godlike right now.
That's right.
They are cooling off in the shade for the time being after having taken some pretty heavy casualties.
Fight in the shade.
Yangon Galacticos on the western side. This is that western side difficult scenario that I was worried about. The arena, they were already down to 2 players alive, and Yangon Galacticos puts them 1 further out of the money. That's going to get flushed away, but mana is down. Low HP on Smile, a little bit diminished. Can TT Project make anything happen? As they are the ones to deal the final blow towards E-Arena, ending their day on 58 points.
2nd and 3rd place are gone. That is a huge, huge thing for this lobby. Nongshim Red Force are down 1. S2G is still in the mix, though, here. Meanwhile, TT Project, Yangon Galacticos battling it out back and forth. Romeo gonna have to make a play here, as it's only him and Smile up for his team, throwing out some nades. That actually did a little bit of damage there, but now here comes S2G. This fight happening. They want a piece of this action. They are starting to get peppered, though, from other teams. That's gonna be Nongshim Red Force. Ooh, Kamikaze trying to find a little bit of coverage by that hill, and he does find it.
I like this. I like this from S2G. They've read this fight is going to get a little bit stuck, and they're moving ahead of it. Instead of trying to get stuck straight in, they're prioritizing zone. They know that Nongshim have great oversight onto any position that they would third party from. So instead of going for the third party on the Yangon TT fight, they are going to go instead and put pressure on towards that Nongshim position. But maybe they should have had their eyes set over towards TT Project, because they are stepping over these hills. They are going to step towards Hamzy, and they're going to take him down too.
Effect just blind shooting through that smoke, and it connects. He'll take that all day long. Meanwhile, Yangon Galacticos with 3 players up, gonna try and find any space here. They're gonna be driving right in between these 2 squads, but Nongshim Red Force was just waiting for them to start making that push.
Yeah, S2G, after losing a player, sent straight ahead and tried to get further into the zone. I feel like it's probably a good read here, but Nongshim Red Force now have bigger fish to fry, and they are cooking something awful. Ida trying to step forwards now. They've crashed onto the Tianba position. The Shadow no longer the danger-free location it once was, but another duo will take up the mantle, and both in purple.
That's QZZ getting eliminated there. Tianba just not able to do what was expected of them at the start of day one. But it's kind of hard to do when you got some squads going absolutely insane. Nongshim Red Force had the high ground, but this is at the edge of this circle. They're not going to be able to hold this position for much longer, but they can definitely get some serious eliminations here. Oh, almost catching Lost on the way to that tree, but he is able to find that little piece of coverage. Meanwhile, Romeo catching TG Project. Young on Galacticos getting peppered. Zarek getting shot in his back. Fights going in all over the place here. Nongshim Red Force looking to clean this up.
Yeah, 3 players now alive as Hyunbin does go down for Nongshim Red Force. TT Project full. They were able to do a lot of work into this last game, though, today. They got 9 eliminations there, pushed themselves up into 12th place. They should be happy with the performance they were able to find in the fighting from Chumasera. But now it's Nongshim to try and solidify themselves towards that top 5 in the fight with Yangon Galacticos, who they're trying to push out beneath them. If they go down, S2G have a door flung wide open for them.
Yeah, let's see right now, XCY with that MG3 shuts down Yangon Galacticos, and that's the 5th place team now out. So Nongshim Red Force, Vitality still in the mix when it comes to the top 5 teams. This is, again, a big opportunity for a squad, especially like S2G, to make something happen. And they got some good sightlines here.
I think this is a big opportunity for Godlike as well, right? On this position, they have got all 4 of their players. Etch is currently putting pressure on. Not too many other teams are going to be pushing towards this compound, could potentially third party from Hustler Crew. But Etch making this crossing is going to be tough because, I mean, Nongshim Red Force, they've got a side swipe on the approach as well. Moving through this compound is going to be so difficult. The question is how many points are Godlike going to get for this hole? Because if Nongshim just take them all, that's a little bit of a drought.
Yeah, let's see. We're taking a look there at Godlike. How many eliminations are they going to get? They're going to have to fight out ETSH first, though. S-Power, he's got that nade. He's cooking it. Actually, no, he's just holding on to it. Waiting to see the approach from ETSH. But so far, nothing. This is both these teams are in the circle right now. And they know that if they do fight this, the chance of them getting third-partied is pretty high. So I'm not surprised to see them just play this a little slower for now.
I mean, you say it's pretty high. I feel like a full squad third-partying this is probably fairly unlikely. I mean, the most likely is Hustler Crew, but either are playing as a duo. Do they want to leave that longhouse? Probably not. I think it might just be a straight-up back-to-back fight, but with Nongshim Red Force having their attention diverted, S2G now it's go time for Etch. A nice Molotov to place to cut the cross, but Etch pushed straight on through, and speed is there. And it is aggression to find it. A nice nade blasts to a part of the seams, and Godlike hold their nerve.
And the crowd goes crazy. The Godlike fans getting nice and hyped up for that one as they get the eliminations and keep all 4 players up.
Where was the third party? Not there. Hustler Crew not in a position to go for it either. Not going. Nongshim Red Force in the meantime took down S2G, by the way, who do end this match currently in 5th place, but that is under threat from Godlike now on that north side. The difficulty, they have to move. Push to the longhouse, get towards the crossroads.
Get to safety, get in a position to put your team ready for this chicken dinner. Problem is you still got Team Vitality up on top of the leaderboards, and they are still in the mix. As we look at Godlike, 4 eliminations, they are there. Dopeness are still here, and that's a team that definitely could use these points. They do have that coverage, but this is outside a circle. The problem with the zone is that there's not a lot of spots left to take. The only way to really make this win happen is you're gonna have to make a push, and you're gonna have to get it done the hard way.
Yeah, it's really tricky now to make ground in this one. The reason Dopeness can't push up the roadside there, out to their west, is because of Nongshim Red Force and 721 GS, right? Both of those 2 teams have the angle to control the roadside. If that fight goes poorly, if the players start to drop from both of those sides, it is going to get a lot easier for them to move. And if you're going to get a pick on the Razy, that's also going to be quite a boon to your movement
Let's
potential.
get it. Lufa with the Car 98, making it happen in the end game. I love to see it. Nongshim Red Force looking to possibly get their 3rd chicken dinner on the day. That would be huge for them. Tizzy having to make a play, though. Here comes 721 GS with the buggy. He's got the shotgun. S12K popped through the smoke. It's not good enough. So Easy's going to have to support him. He hits 1. Can he get another? He's getting the thirst. Nongshim Red Force doing a great job of stiff-arming this team.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. Tizzy does go down, but he does enough damage to make it difficult. But now Malik has found a pick onto the off angle, and Nongshim Red Force are going to go low. This is the scenario that I was thinking about for Dopeness. They can start to move west because that fight has gone a little bit mucky on the western edge. There's no longer the pressure from that side.
Let's go, and Nongshim Red Force finally eliminate that threat behind them. They have their back against the wall now. Now it's time to look forward and soak up some of these eliminations. But like you mentioned, Dopeness utilizing their time, pushing up, but they gotta battle the titans of the lobby. It's Team Vitality versus Dopeness. They're trying to get away. They say, no, we don't want to deal with this. And they're punishing them on the way as they go straight into the jaws of Nongshim Red Force.
Oh, it's not gonna go well for you there. 2 players alive, that's all they need on the crossfire, being hounded out of position by Vitality. With 13 eliminations for Nongshim Red Force, they're looking to play with the big dogs here, but Vitality are the biggest of dogs in this lobby. It doesn't matter if you got an MG3 Loco, Axel is still gonna run rings around you.
And you guys gotta remember, if Team Vitality win this game with 9 eliminations, they will pass up 4 Thrive's 2-day performance in 1 day alone. Let's take a look though at Godlike Esports in the building. They got their shotguns loaded. You can see Mania pulling the pin, psych, putting it right back for now.
Uh-oh.
It's them versus Ida though. Oh yeah, S-Power getting knocked. That's gonna make things a little bit more difficult.
Another nade being cooked now for Rita, Manya, and Same on that angle. The backstop's there, a little bit of damage, and S-Power now is very low. Admino can't step forwards. There's off angles to be dealt with. In the meantime, Hustler crew have gone down on that north side. The res, I think it's going to stick here as Same keeps his nerve up into the building. A nade being cooked in response now for Admino to try and take down this duo from Ida. This is the step that they need to take now. S-Power with another nade, but the shotguns are lying in wait, and it is vicious, it is brutal. A second one into the mixer. As Vitality chime in as well. Down goes one for Ida, but Darkin still giving it a good go. Over the top they roll, and Vitality make do the unthinkable.
Vitality pushing Godlike at the perfect time, and it's Godlike going down. It's Vitality versus Nongshim Red Force. A great performance on the side of Godlike, but an insane performance from these 2 teams. Vitality looking so solid. Nongshim Red Force looking for their 3rd chicken dinner, but it looks like it's all Vitality here when it comes to Group B.
There's one. Let's put the 11th on the board. Looking for Teasy. Is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the Elins and burn yourself down to the ground, because Vitality live on top of the tables and beating a 2-day performance from Group A.
Are you kidding me? No reaction needed. Team Vitality are your monsters here in Paris.
What a shutdown. 108 points in 6 matches. Nobody is going to top that. We thought we'd seen it all. A 39-point game at the start of the day from E-Arena. We were thinking, how's anybody going to top that? Well, let me introduce you to a little team called Vitality.
Darimaka-san, thank you very much. These guys are gonna be sitting pretty tomorrow. Nothing but just kick back and relax, baby, because you made it happen on day number 1. But man, the expectations are now through the roof for this squad, right? You gotta have a good day tomorrow. You know what, as a matter of fact, forget tomorrow, dude, right? You're good to go. Finals time, right? That's where your eyes got to lock in. So you know what? Even if Team Vitality doesn't go crazy tomorrow, I want tomorrow to be their day of, you know what is it that we need to fix for the finals, right?
Absolutely.
Is it any little, tiny little mistake that we can adjust? Even if they do something so wild just to work on that, I'd rather them do that there. So come finals time, they pop off.
Absolutely. I mean, I was really impressed towards the end as well with Godlike, able to jump up just about into that 5th place position at the end of that last match, holding their compound. Really, really heavy stuff coming through. Little difficulty in sweeping through that longhouse. I feel like longhouse or Miramar, those longhouses are always so treacherous. The side angles, you don't know if you're going to be playing against those shotguns. Those nades can come out of nowhere, it seems. So a real difficult time to get rid of a duo.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that you have to make sure you play it perfectly, and they're not going to just run in one at a time. You got to play that slow, and they did it the right way. And the problem is just that with how much time that took, Team Vitality at this point, they're not making mistakes, right? They're not even taking an extra 1/10 of a second of delay, right? The second they recognize what was going on, boom, they are right there, and they're taking out Godlike. But, you know, looking behind us, we got all the fans right with us here behind us in the booth. They're very, very proud of what Godlike did here today, and it's good to be able to see so many teams perform so well, and just an overall insane day. I didn't think we were going to even compete with Group A when it came to Group B, even though there were some monster teams here, but Group B, I think, just outshined Group A, and they did, right, in a big, major way.
Yeah, imagine getting an 18-point average.
What?
Like,
18 points a game?
It's insane, the quality that requires, right? In a lobby like this, I mean, it's breathtaking. It's unbelievable. Over 6 matches to be able to put up that sort of a performance. Imagine, on average, you're getting 80. That's an 8 Elim chicken dinner on average.
Every game.
Every single time you get on that plane, you walk away with that.
I hope everybody watching, understand what they just witnessed here today. This is a performance in one day that we may never see again. But you know what? One team that we're going to see some more of is Alpha 7. Let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage.
So much, guys. I've got Revo here from Alpha 7 Esports. Group B, day 1, has come to a close. Middle of the pack right now. I think you're currently sitting in 9th place. Look, Revo, we know that the expectations for yourself is a lot higher. So what were the issues that you were encountering today? And, you know, what were the things that you kind of struggled with?
I think like we had a bad executions, so we need to fix that, and we're gonna fix that for tomorrow. And let's see what's gonna happen. We are doing our best. We're still confident, and we know we can make it direct to the finals.
Yeah, that's fair. Just so that you know as well, Rocco is on standby. We're going to try and this interview in English, but you know, Rocco's just there just in case we need him. So, more specifically in that Miramar game, that final one, you were forced kind of northwest of Picado. You had to do a big wrap through the blue zone, and then as you came back into zone, you encountered S2G. Was that just kind of bad timing, bad execution? Like, from your perspective, what happened?
I think like we need to join in the zone. We need to join the zone. We need to try. So we like said, let's gonna crash and let's try to fight. We saw them, but it happens. We made a better execution again. So that was the problem. And yeah, it happens.
It's just bad execution. And sometimes, honestly, for those of you watching at home, the level is so high, it's also just bad luck sometimes, and it depends on where the zone pulls, right? Finally, before I let you go, I just want to talk a little bit about you joining the desk earlier this week. You had a chat with Seven and the rest of the gang. You said that there's been quite a few strategies you guys are changing, some internal things you're changing as well, because this year hasn't exactly been the best year. Have you been implementing some of those things, and what's working, what's not working?
Yeah, we are trying. We did like many changes, but we are like still studying which one gonna work, which one not gonna work. We see that today, and we're gonna fix that for tomorrow and do better.
That's good. I mean, if there's any day to have not the best day, it's today. Revo, I really appreciate it. Best of luck to Alpha 7 Esports tomorrow, because they've got one more day of group stages to go. But don't go anywhere, because we're staying right here on the stage, and we're heading over to COLOURFUL with another interview.
That's right, thank you very much, Barney. Bow down to your South Korean overlords, all right? Because I've got Hyungbin here, as well as Maddox, to do the translations and ask a few questions about the whole day. So you didn't have the easiest of starts, but after those first 2 games, back-to-back chicken dinners, looking amazing in this last game as well. Between game 2 into game 3, was there any kind of discussion in the team or kind of change of pace that you might want to kind of talk to us about?
일단 현빈 선수 일단 첫 번째 질문은 사실 오늘 첫 2경기가 그렇게 순탄하진 않았는데 그래도 세 번째 매치부터 2연 치킨을 먹고 또 마지막 매치까지 또 2등을 하시면서 굉장히 또 좋은 마무리를 했습니다. 그래서 이 매치가 끝난 이후에 좀 어떤 점을 좀 얘기를 했고 좀 어떻게 분위기를 전환하셨는지 일단 궁금합니다.
일단 1, 2 매치가 잘 안 됐는데도 저희 팀은 분위기를 최대한 살리려고 좀 같이 텐션 높여가면서 했던 것 같고 저희 팀원들이 너무 잘해줘서 마지막 매치까지도 잘해서 점수 잘 먹은 것 같아요.
Yeah, even though we're like 1 or 2 points into the first 2 games, I mean, we're not down yet. I mean, we just try to bring our tensions up as much as possible. Like, we just try to get spice up with everyone. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we try to be vibing, and we had a really good vibe from our team. So I think that went pretty well for us. And we had really good teammates. I think they lead me pretty well. So, yeah, that led to really good results today.
Okay, and backstage, Maxman is your biggest fan, and I want to know, he believes that ever since you came onto the international scene as a young player, you've been unbelievably consistent with your performance. Is there any secret spice to that, or what do you think from your perspective?
사실 또 중계석에 있는 맥스맨 캐스터가 사실 현빈 선수의 또 굉장한 팬이거든요. 그렇기 때문에 또 현빈 선수가 또 어린 나이에 이렇게 국제 무대에 처음 와서 정말 지금까지 굉장히 또 꾸준한 모습을 보여주고 있는데 그 비결이 무엇인지 궁금합니다.
아직 제가 막 잘한다고 생각하는 선수가 아니라 또 잘하려고 노력하는 선수라 더 성장하는 것 같아요.
Well, honestly, I don't really feel that I'm really a good player. However, I'm trying to being good at it. So I think the consistency of keep trying and the continuity of being an effort player. So I think that's what makes me a really good player right now.
Staying humble and looking amazing whilst doing it. 감사합니다, Hyunbin. Thank you very much. And that does it down here on the stage.
Standing by.
Thank you, Calares and Barney, with those interviews. But we gotta talk about the records that are being broken here at Quirilla City Grid, because not only did we get a 29 elimination in the first game of Group B, we also got Vitality to outperform 4 Thrives from Group A. In Group A, in 2 days, 4 Thrives was able to get 107 points. Here today, Vitality was like, we can beat that in 1 day, because they ended up getting 108.
Blank was also checking in the background, checking out with their PMGO Season 1 performance for the side of 4 Thrives in the finals, day 1 of finals. They got 82 points, blowing out the water 2 records in 1 day from 4 Thrives, and Team Vitality make it happen. 108, absolute madness.
But not only that, 108 to 60.
That's right. Not only just that, look at the bigger gap that they even have to 5th place and 6th place. Tomorrow, Vitality is going to end up showing up, Lace, and be like, we can do whatever the heck we want.
What do we say? Don't hot drop on Vitality. I mean, you heard it on the desk there. But look, every single decision they made, every team that they encountered, they had the strategy and obviously the brute force to be able to do that. And plus, Axel, 23 kills, Razy, 18, and Razor on 17. They are your top kill leaders across the entire board, which is absolutely insane. So it's like all 3 players fighting for that MVP.
You remove their placement points, they're still number 1, by the way.
Yes.
they're still up
That's
there.
some good maths there.
Yeah, they got an 11-point difference right now, but really good to see Nongshim Red Force, Horror Esports, E-Arena, Godlike Esports also going to be up there, so it clearly is just a very SA and also South Asia focused right now on this overall leaderboards. But man, we were scared looking at Godlike a lot of today, right, Niptro? Like, okay, the hot drop is getting very scary. We had that one big hot drop happening in apartments with the side of Hustler Crew.
Yeah.
The planes were really good on Miramar. They couldn't really make it to La Cobreria. It goes to show the hot drops are just not it. Godlike Esport, they get into the late game. Boy, putting up a
decent amount of eliminations, really, especially for a team that, unlike Orangutan, have never played globally before.
Yeah, no, I really, really like this. I mean, we've been talking so much about Team Vitality, Hora, E-Arena, all of those teams, that the teams that are actually doing very well and actually playing very normally for a group stage day one, I mean, they've got 37 points. That's a decent amount of points for 6 games. So very excited to see what they've got coming into tomorrow, because it is looking really, really good so far.
It is. Well, unfortunately, looking at teams that were looking very good, they're on the first page, second page, and teams not looking really good, unfortunately. ETSH, 721 GS Esports, and Hustler Crew. Hustler Crew, I would say I was kind of expecting it, but 721 GS Esports, after what we saw in their previous events globally, I was like, okay, they've got some potential, maybe middle of the pack, but bottom 3, that is brutal.
It is brutal, and also for expectations for tomorrow, Lays. I mean, these squads need to start bringing it like some of the other squads were able to do it earlier in the day to get out those bottom 3.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously got to keep a very close eye on not only that top bubble, because yes, that's exciting, you know, the cash money, but we got to watch that bottom 3, because obviously they may get their keys crushed. And ETSH Esports, dopeness, they need to have more presence in the lobby tomorrow. Most of the games with them being sort of caught out on their rotations or too early of a position with the lack of utility. I also did see it a little bit from Wolves and TT, but I do kind of want to remove them out of that equation, because obviously in that last game, they realized this gap in strategy and they were able to sort of get themselves some elimination. TT had 9 just from that alone. So this kind of presence that they shown in match 6 is something that we need to see from them moving into tomorrow to avoid that bottom 3.
As we ended up seeing Baton being one of those teams that I was actually talking about earlier, getting that pan headshot with the buggy. But let's take a look at the MVP for today, which is going to be no surprise than a Vitality player, and it's none other than Axel with those 23 eliminations, 3,800 damage.
I mean, we saw that, what, they have like 70-odd eliminations, right?
71, yeah.
71. To have 23 of those on your own, I mean, that's a very even, I mean, yeah, I was going to say, it's very even across the board. So out of 5, there's Sky in there. There he is, just popping in to say hey. But the rest of them are all from Vitality. I think that's kind of to be expected, but the damage coming off of every single one of these Vitality players is pretty insane, Max.
Can we rename this from top 5 players to just like, no, top Vitality players of the day? Because it's literally just all Vitality. Axel, Ray, Eve, Zach, the Ray duo is there, and Federalis, and then Sky's like photo bombing in the middle of the graphic. But Sky also had some really good time. We saw some strong finishes from Hora. So overall, what an insane day. I thought Group A was a group of death. Group B is a group of entertainment. What a day it was. It's a good time to be a Pubg Mobile esports fan.
I mean, I kind of like to say that this lobby was 2 different lobbies in one. You have the top of the leaderboard that are just the ones that are absolutely honing everything, and then, you know, kind of a different story at the end there. But no, absolutely deserved from Vitality, and that was just proof that how well this squad all works together to be those top players. That means they are insanely cohesive, and can't believe they beat the score yesterday. I really can't. Like, that's... What's tomorrow gonna be?
Crazy.
In one day, and I'm hoping we usually have a situation where teams are in that position, they can either slow it down or they can just push that metal a little bit harder, and I'm hoping that's going to be the case for Vitality. But some of the other squads that we ended up seeing, especially in the second page, Neptura, Alpha 7.
I know.
Usually I get a chance to talk about them, but I'm not an expert this time, so Alpha 7, what's going on with them?
Alpha 7, for me, I think the big thing for me that I noticed is they seem to be making these pushes, making these plays with no information whatsoever. Like, they made that push into game 6, right? Into S2G's compound, and we're like, oh, there's a player over there, and there's a player over there, and oh no, we're gone. Like, there's no information. They don't seem to really know who is where, and that means that they can't do a darn thing when they start getting shot at. So for me, A7, they gotta work on that info scouting, gotta work on just making a little bit more of those moves to actually make sure they don't die easily.
Yeah, I do have to agree. I want to echo your point. I feel like it's a big issue of scouting. I want to take actually not to that last game, actually the game of Rondo we had earlier today. It was them trying to go for Western rotate next to Stadium, and there's no scouting, and they just crash mid-rotation to a squad, and then it's a big skirmish happening out in the blue zone, and as it gets later, that blue zone tick damage starts to increase. So I would say right now the big issue is not really the fragging power, because, like, come on, we know they can bring it to the table. It's just a lack of information. That in a lobby like this, you don't have information, you're going in blind, teams will shut that down instantly.
And we even heard on the interview from Rebel too, they're still practicing stuff. They're still trying to figure out stuff. This would actually be a team that would benefit from going to survival stage. And I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Usually big Alpha 7 fan, but I call it out when a team is sucking, and that team right now is just not being able to hit my marks. One team that was able to hit my marks, and you guys were able to talk about it earlier, was none other than Godlike. I'm hoping Godlike is going to continue on that trend and stay away from those hot drops. But ladies and gentlemen, this does end up concluding day 1 of Group B of Pmwc at EWC 26. From Lace, Maxman, Neptura, the 7WG, the Casters, Production, everybody here. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of Group B. We'll be crushing some keys. We'll be sending teams to survival, and we'll be sending teams to the finals.